What's up everyone, this is Martin for the 46 today with a tour review for you. Today's tour review, we're having a look at the Neca Pirates of the Caribbean Elisabeth Swann. Awesome. Of course, if you watch my videos, you've actually seen her in my collection look video, which I've done 2 months back. And I've actually never reviewed her till now. If you actually watching this review right now, actually I'm reviewing her, of course. But back in the day, I've actually never reviewed her. I actually bought this figure, I think, a few months back in April 2013 in my toy convention, which is always in April and November. I've actually bought this figure for 30 bucks or something like that, because yeah, I actually saw this figure, and being the fact that I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and that Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is coming, which I'm really looking for. Of course it's coming. I've actually bought this figure. And when I bought the figure, I actually got a little more accessories with her. And I actually made her a female version actually of Edward Kenway, the new pirate assassin of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. But let's take a look at the figure. Here we go. Let's first focus on her face. Of course, she comes with a removable head, which we'll later touch on the accessories. The head sculpt is pretty good. The head sculpt is pretty good. Of course, this figure has been made in back in I think in 2007 when the third movie of Pirates of the Caribbean came out, which I actually really enjoyed. And the likeness isn't bad. It is actually pretty good. It isn't perfect. It doesn't really 100% resemble Keira Knightley or Elisabeth Swann, but it is actually pretty good. The hair is quite nice in my opinion. It has some very nice detail. It is one solid piece, but I like the detail that they have put in the hair. I like her lips. I really like her lips. There's just something I really like about this figure. That is probably her lips. Yeah, her lips. Her clothes are very nicely detailed, of course. This figure isn't very articulated, but of course really excels in paint and detail. And you can see all the details they have brought in the figure, especially in the sleeves. Look at that. Just really cool. You can see all the wrinkles, all the wrinkles in the clothes itself. It's been dirtied up. You can see some little detail on the top right here on the shoulder. The shadow that I've brought into the figure. Just really cool. Her hands, of course, which are nicely detailed. She has a little bandage on her hand, which is quite nice for holding a sword, I think. Really cool. And I've said it before, she comes with a little bit more accessories with my figure, because I've bought this figure loose. Let's remove these pistols. Of course, this is of course the original belt. This belt right here is of course the original belt from her, which is very nicely detailed. I really like the belt buckle on here. Now look at that. Back in the day, how Neca just used to work with their detail. Just absolutely awesome. And still today, they're really good. Of course, they're now more improved with the articulation, and now it's of course my favorite toy company and kind of stuff. But back in the day, they also made really cool figures. Take a look at her pants. Her pants are very nicely detailed as well. You can see all the wrinkles in the pants. Her boots, which of course really nicely detailed again. You can see how much effort Neca puts in their figures. Just look at that. Really cool. In the way of articulation, being the fact it's an older figure, she doesn't have a lot, but still a plenty of articulation, but it isn't a lot. Elisabeth right here, she has a bulge-headed head, so you can move it up and down, side to side, all the way around. She has, I thought it was going to be a swivel, but she has actually a little pin and socket shoulder, so you can move it in and out. Not a lot, being the fact that the sculpt, being due to the sculpt, it kind of blocks the articulation itself, but you can move it kind of in and out. And you can of course rotate it back and forth. She has a swivel at the elbow, she has a swivel at the wrist, a swivel at the waist, and a swivel at the boot. That's it though. That's it. Not a lot of articulation, but being the fact that it's an older figure, it's kind of understandable. Now let's take a look at their accessories. First I will show you the original accessories that she actually comes with in the original packaged figure. Because being the fact that I've actually bought this figure loose at my convention, I actually got a little bit more accessories from other figures with her, which is quite nice. First of all, the original accessories. She comes with a display base, which I really do like. This is a very nice, display base based off on the beach. You can see the little seaweed on the ground. You can see the little plant right here, and little sand and rocks, which I really do like. Really cool. She does need the display stand. I'm sorry. She can stand on her own, but being the fact she is in this very nice, sexy pose, well, she can actually stand on her own if you position her feet right. But the best thing is if you want to put her on the display base. The only problem is sometimes she tends to be a bit back heavy. So now she's standing fine, but sometimes she's a bit back heavy. Second accessory, she actually comes with a hat. A very pirate-like hat, which I really do like. I like the details. I like the fact how Neca worked with this thing. It's rubberized too, which I do like. So, of course, you can put the hat on the top of her head, of course, like so. Being the fan I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, I always put the hat kind of like so, kind of tilt her head down so you can't actually see her eyes, kind of like Evelyn the Grampe from Assassin's Creed Liberation. And the third accessory is, actually probably my favorite, a hanger sword. And why I should say hanger sword, I think it's used to call the hanger sword because this sword is an exact same sword you use in Assassin's Creed 3. Of course, in Assassin's Creed 3 you can buy and use a lot of swords, and this is one of them. And this is actually by far one of my favorite swords in Assassin's Creed 3. It is actually my favorite after Captain Kidd's Cutlass. But get away topic here. Very nice sword, very European, pirate-like sword. Just really cool. Look at the detail they used in the sword. Just really cool with this very long blade. Very cool. It's by far my favorite accessory. You can house, of course, the sword into her original holster, like here, or sheath, but there is resting another sword. Of course, this sheath is meant to actually for this one, but I always put it in this one. And this is actually one of the few accessories I actually got with it. This strap, a skull, and last but not least, actually 2 flintlock pistols. And these, all these accessories are from other figures, which I actually got, and actually very pleased with the accessories. And I actually forgot the sword right here. This sword is actually meant to be for Jack Sparrow, but I actually got this accessory free with it, which I do like. But first, take a look at the flintlocks. I really like the flintlocks right here. Especially this one. This one really reminds me of a very realistic... Well, all these weapons are realistic. And based off realistic weapons back in the day. But very nice flintlocks. Of course, I can put the flintlocks on her hands. But being the fact that her fingers are in the trigger position... Well, I can of course... put them like so. It doesn't actually look pretty cool. Of course, she doesn't fire because she doesn't have the finger on the trigger, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. And I also got a sword with it, a little saber, well, a little sword as well. Very cool little saber sword. Really cool. This, of course, Jack Sparrow's sword. If I display her I always display her sometimes with both her swords. Or one pistol and sword. Like so. Now she's ready for the battle. Now she really reminds me of a female version of Edward Kenway, because Edward Kenway always also used 2 sabers, which I really do like. So Elisabeth right here is a quite nice looking figure. It's an older figure, I know. She's really excels in detail, of course. She doesn't have a lot of articulation, but being the fact I got all these little accessories with it, I'm very pleased with the figure. And if you want to find yourself a Pirates of the Caribbean figure, they're a little harder to come by because these figures are a little older. Your best pickup is probably Amazon or eBay, maybe your comic book store, but it's likely they're gonna be out of stock because some of these figures are quite rare, I think, being the fact they're older and stuff. But if you find this figure, Elisabeth Swann, and if you like pirates and kind of stuff, do pick up this figure. She's a very nice, elegant looking figure and is a nice piece to the collection. But that was again a review for March 2046, and I'll see you guys next time with another review. Later!